is, man. This is the Green Room. Philly D and Mr. Gemini on the mic in a warm-up to a show about nothing.
All right, well, I mean, I guess I was born ready. This is the Green Room. I mean, that's how we roll.
That's how we limp in is what it is.
Well, this is nothing. This is the stuff we don't want it to end up on the editing room floor because we don't edit.
I mean,
we don't do that. We don't cut shit up.
I make like shorts edits, but yeah, so, I don't. We don't modify things to fit our
really editing.
We don't even have a freaking agenda to have anything to fit to it.
So, anyways, Mr. Gemini,
Philly D,
clickety clack a fact check of Miss JD,
and today, well. I mean,
it's your show, bro. You do it.
That's right. Today we have a fella, if you'd like to introduce yourself, but this is Brad Jones. Go ahead and tell us your whole story. You got a whole bunch of hats that you wear, apparently.
I'm Brad. No, that's it. I do have hats I wear. This is one of the rare times I'm actually not wearing one of them. No, I play the Cinema Snob over on YouTube. You can find me at Stone Gremlin Productions over on YouTube and on Channel Awesome as well. Yeah, I've been playing that character for a while, where we look at old exploitation movies, forgotten flicks of the 70s, 80s, 90s, sometimes porn parodies.
Nice.
Whatever I feel like watching that week.
Right? Dude, that's awesome. But I mean, so we were talking.
Some of them are entertaining.
They're done right. But we were talking before we popped the mics on about how, we've had that eclectic upbringing with the different movie styles, genres, like everything, where it's like we have a fond appreciation for diversity within that, because I mean they're all good, whether it's like satirical or funny or like dick and fart jokes, or they're making fun of stuff, or if they're being serious. Like I love movies, man.
But like movies where everybody got made fun of, and it was perfectly acceptable, and it was hilarious, and it's like I don't know. It seems like it's changed throughout the years. Definitely. Well, I'm not trying to bring the room down. I'm just saying.
No. I mean, I've been doing a whole thing where I've been watching I've been doing these year-in retrospectives. I started with the 80s to tie into okay, this is 2023. So this year I'm working on like 1983 in film, where it's going through all of the major releases of 1983. I did that in 2020, 2021. For the 80s. Then I started going back to the 60s. So I'm doing 1961 right now. And there are a lot of them where it is like, yeah, it'd be actually kind of difficult to make this now. And I love every single one of these movies.
Right, dude, because we actually had Mark Scheffler on not that long ago. He was on Last House on the Left, which was
yeah.
Right. I mean, Wes Craven's OG, where people are still stealing his scenes, like literally, verbatim, cropping like every inch. Like I'm watching Last House on the Left right now, and it's not. They stole it. They totally stole it.
That was definitely a very different film style from what I'm used to seeing these days. I mean, everything's all cropped and close in, and that was like wide shots, wide angles, and like introspective, like slow entrances into a scene and stuff like that. Like the way that they'd slow sweeping camera angles.
Yeah, it was a lot more dramatic. I mean, think about like
more left to the imagination as well. Like.
Well, yeah, you didn't have special effects and all that crazy shit. When you did, it's like, Hershey syrup is your freaking blood. Right? I mean, so it's like, but when you think about it, I mean, like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all those kinds of things. Yeah, you didn't need all that crazy stuff. I mean, just the idea that at any second, a homicidal maniac with a chainsaw is going to be coming out of the corner. It's like, how did you not hear that thing running? You know what I mean? Like,
that could be anything.
Yeah.
We're in the woods. Someone's out there chopping down a tree.
How did you not hear the music change? You don't hear that?
Maybe one of the real graphic stuff, though, you watch the Italian movies at the time. Where there are organs everywhere. Something is up someone's ass and coming out their mouth.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were like almost crazy insane with it. I mean, yeah, you want to talk original gore. Yeah, you're absolutely right, man.
Dude, one of the great things about going back and seeing the stuff from like the early 60s is of course there's the ones everyone still remembers, you know, like Psycho 1960, West Side Story in 1961. But in 1960, where it was the start of like semi-mainstream like nudie flicks, like Russ Meyer had his first movie in 1960 where it was The Immoral Mr. Tease, where it was just like kind of these feature length, like sort of stag reels, but longer, like, you know, an hour plus. And they were all things like, okay, The Immoral Mr. Tease is like guy goes to the dentist's office, gets too much anesthesia, so it allows him to see people naked. So the whole movie is just like, oh, now I'm at like a Macy's and I can see through the changing room. And it's all, there's like no dialogue in them either. It's like narration where it's like, and then Mr. T's decided he was going to get a hot dog, and oops, then he saw the girl crossing the street. She's wearing nothing. Like, it's all stuff like that. Like,
I feel like that's how Mr. Bean would be if it was narrated.
Yes. Yeah, it is like that. Like, there's one where it's called Like Wow, where it's a homeless guy finds X-ray glasses in the garbage can. That again, it's like, ooh, I can see people naked now, and he does, and he gets rich, and then it turns into Pay It Forward, where he's rich now, so he hands them off to the next homeless man he sees. It's really an uplifting film, honestly.
Dude, I don't think I've seen that one.
Oh yeah, there was a lot of those like nudist flicks like were popping up around that time.
Oh yeah, I mean, I've definitely seen my fair share, that's for sure. But I've never seen that one because as you were doing it, my brain works with its own movie screen. So like when my brain wants me to show me stuff, it literally shows me stuff like I'm sitting in the seats. And the movie I had was with the wrestler. Then he finds the glasses, then he can see all the shit.
Oh, They Live. Yeah. It was like that. Like. But it's like early 1960s, so it's shot like a promo selling refrigerators. Like,
right. I know what you mean by that. Holy shit, bro. It's like the cheapest cameras, the cheapest locations. It's like, we're not even shooting with a permit. Let's just go.
Yeah. And still like where it's just narration and no dialogue, where it's just like, here's Stanley. He's down on his luck. Oh, but what's in this garbage can?
Dude, like the fucking shitty ass movies they make you watch in like junior high and shit.
That's it is shot just like that. Like,
or like the horrible harassment videos from HR.
Oh yeah.
Dude, just like in the movie Waiting or whatever, where he has to sit down in the freaking back with all the shelves and the foods and the cans and that stuff, and it's just like, we're going to show you what shenanigans, and it's just like, what the hell is this crap?
I had the one I had. It was 90s as hell. I was working at a Hollywood Video, and the safety video we watched, because this will tell you around when this was made, it was a takeoff of Jackass, and it was called Knuckleheads. And the main character was like Johnny Schenectady or something, whatever town Hollywood Video is based in, that was the name of this character. Like he was Johnny Knoxville. And so it was like Jackass, but it was telling you like how to be safe. So they're trying to open a box with a razor blade and they cut their fingers off or something like that. I think it's on YouTube. I think it's over on YouTube. That's the one that always stuck out in my head.
You know, not so much here or here, but like right here.
Yeah.
There, man. No, you're good, dude. I can't. You know what? Honestly, I've never had to watch a safety video for a job. I had to do it for a certification, but I've never had to do it for a job. And yeah, no, the certification was also by the state. So I mean, and not like the group, the state, because those guys are hilarious. No, like literally the state of Pennsylvania, and it was just like, wow, who wrote this? Like it was almost like written in German and translated into Japanese and then written into English, and it's just like this. I don't quite understand. What? Dude, the way they worded the questions, like they were flipping the word. It was horrible. And you have to sit there and just like watch this. You're like, I can't, oh my God. My brain was like melting from it. It was the worst.
That was like maybe the only safety video I can think of. I do remember I was working at a newspaper one time and there was a harassment video we had to watch. And the main thing I do remember of it is like the girl sitting there and she says, like, oh, I got a pain in my neck or something. And then you just see this doofy guy like raise his head outside the cubicle as if he was waiting for somebody to say this and just runs over like, I'll take care of that for you. Like he's massaging.
Creepy McCreep then.
Yeah. Like he's just shot up like a spring.
Like someone wants to be touched? Where?
I know, like he was just sitting there, like just waiting his entire like time working there for that moment.
That's why I like the movie. Was it Girl Next Door? Where in the movie they wind up shooting a new style porn, but it's traditional. I was like, you know what? I was like, dude, that's actually a really good idea. If they did the sex ed videos in that fashion, it'd be way more interesting. People would actually watch this shit, and we'd probably have like a lot more smarter, intelligent children or something. Possibly, but I mean, it's not a guarantee. However, I feel like they would be paying attention.
Bad acting is ruining our educational system. That's what you're Is that what you're saying? I mean,
I am now. I hadn't thought of it like that. That's a very good point. I'm down.
And all the way up to adulthood. I mean, like these same stupid videos are what they give you like to be a manager of a company. I mean, like whatever it is, like there's always some, I mean, and I used to have to take them like on my computer. So you're just sitting there clicking stuff until you get all the right answers. And that's your passing grade. And
yeah, right. No, that is not good.
Well, they always make you want to do the opposite. They always make you want to do the opposite. Like I was a kid during Just Say No, and every single one was like, so you're telling me I should do drugs? This guy seems cool. Like he's got a leather jacket. I don't know. He's got good taste in music.
He's got a nice car. It's fast.
Yeah. He's an independent businessman.
Right. Dude. So I was raised in California, outside of Los Angeles in a Mexican barrio, right?
Yeah.
So the people in my neighborhood and around us, like they sold like crack and weed and all sorts of shit. So, I mean, just like you said, I mean, me growing up, all I saw was like dope ass lowriders, people just hanging out on a Tuesday morning, having a barbecue and shit. And I'm just like, that looks pretty cool to me, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're trying to sell me on what looks the dopest shit ever. Like everybody's enjoying this. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, like that looks pretty good to me. I don't.
Yeah. And if I do smoke this, at least that means like I get to meet McGruff. I get to meet McGruff, the crime dog.
Yeah, that's your deterrent.
Yeah, see the DARE program when the cops came to.
I don't know, a 6 foot tall dog standing on 2 feet wearing a trench coat.
Yeah. Sounds to me like a good time.
I know. It's like, this seems all right.
I've always wanted an Irish wolfhound. It's like that with a trench coat.
Talk off the air. I think there may be some issues here. I don't know.
There's a reason that dog's got a smoker's voice. Like he's got some Jack Daniels in his top drawer in his office.
Drink away. But yeah, no, like so the DARE program when I was in 6th grade, cops came, and this is different from the experience that I had in 8th grade when I moved from California to Pennsylvania. So 6th grade, the cops come, they show us their squad car, all that cool fun stuff.
Yeah.
And they open up the back seat and put you in it and then shut the door. Not a joke. They wanted to give you a view of what it was like to be arrested. Whereas here in 8th grade, 2 years later, the cops come and do the whole thing. You get to sit up front and work the sirens.
Sweet.
I'm like, what?
That's not the same thing.
Dude, not the same. But you got to look at two totally different neighborhoods.
Dude, it's like go sit in the corner for 20 minutes and stare at it.
I mean,
don't talk to anybody. Don't.
Yeah.
Like, that's not the same thing as like sit in the back of a cop car, not the front.
They had to scare you at a young age.
I don't even get to push buttons
I'm
around here.
aware.
Wait a minute.
And then as long as you were good, by the time you turned 8, you got the benefits of sitting in the front seat.
Yeah, but the back, there's more space. Up front, it's just the cops' fast food wrappers and shit. Like,
And computers. So you have like no space or leg room either.
yeah, like I know with all the Dare stuff, we liked all the Dare stuff, but it didn't. I don't think it gave us any opinion really on drugs one way or the other. It was more we liked it because it got us out of class.
Yes, correct.
Fun fact, my dad's house, irony, Brad Jones, was a Scruff McGruff house growing up.
Was a what?
A Scruff McGruff house.
Nice.
They had like stickers on the window like it was a safe place.
That's right. Scruff McGruff.
Oh my God.
I go down a rabbit hole where I find those old videos sometimes over on YouTube.
We do the same, but it's like Schoolhouse Rocks. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Junction. We're nerds. It's cool. We own it. Wow, I like Conjunction Junction. That shit's dope.
What's your function?
I didn't say nothing.
Just a bit on Capitol Hill.
That's the problem. Now I won't be able to get that out of my head.
Dude, I gave you that one though. I'm just a bill sitting on Capitol Hill. He's talking about having to get signed into the legislature, all that good stuff. You remember that one?
You want to go ahead and perform the whole thing? I mean, that
is not what we do here. Nobody wants that show,
that's
bro.
on you if you want to perform.
No, it's on you if you're asking me to, because nobody wants that show.
I'm really not.
I'm all good, Spider.
I'd be fine with just moving on and just forgetting that ever happened. But
Did any of you go to a religious school?
Not as like education or raised, but I had friends who did, so I would go with them because my parents were like cool with it. So I'd go with friends on the season. So yeah, to a degree.
I did. So we got those PSAs too. Like I did kindergarten through. My situation was a little different in that, like, I went to religious schools kindergarten through senior year, but it wasn't because I was raised religious. I just liked going to a smaller school. So I just kind of liked that environment better. And so, we had all of the PSAs that we were just talking about, but also the bonus ones that were about you could do drugs, but not only will the dog arrest you, you'll go to hell.
Top it all off.
Oh my Lord. I want to watch these PSAs.
They were great. I mean, they're like, so I didn't grow up with a lot of the fire and brimstone ones, like from the 70s. The ones with me were more like, I'm sure you've all seen that clip, like the David A.R. White clip where he's like, "Hey, Scotty, Jesus, man." Like, it's the stuff that gets memed like that, where it's just like kind of super cheesy. Okay,
can I ask what type of religious school was this? Was this like Catholic or
no,
not
Catholic,
Baptist or evangelist?
No, then it probably would be a little darker.
Okay,
no,
because I'm just thinking like the Catholic route in my head, and I was like, my mind just went in that direction of how dark this could have gone.
No, not like that. With me, it was more the cheesy ones, like the thing I just quoted is more like that was the kid is acting up, so it does this like version of It's a Wonderful Life where it's like, what if you weren't a Christian? Here's what your life would be like. And he's like, of course, selling drugs or something, and like his girlfriend's cheating on him. So, it's things like that where it's just kind of super cheesy.
Unfortunately, PSA for life, whether you are or not a Christian, that still could happen.
Kindergarten through 8th grade was just kind of a regular like Christian school. When I was in high school, it was a Lutheran high school.
Okay.
So it wasn't like, Catholic Baptist, no uniforms or anything like that. Like,
I was thinking the strictness is like the nuns.
No, nothing like this slap on the arm with the ruler, like the Blues Brothers or something like. It was like, we watch Carmen music videos on our downtime.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Good stuff.
Wow.
Bro. I appreciate that.
Public school. Yeah.
Well,
public school.
So, okay, like, here's the thing. So my parents were raised
G-pop, you know?
My parents were raised that way. Like, you know, freaking rulers on the knuckles, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you know, corporal punishment,
mine,
all that shit was allowed. Yeah, if the teacher said you fucked up, you fucked up. Didn't matter what happened. Right. So when they had the chance to be parents, they were like, all right, one, we do appreciate, like you said, the smaller schools, you get a better attention, that kind of stuff. And unfortunately, that's typically like in that kind of sense. But because they're okay with it, they got us, you know, private school at least. They're like, hey, we found one. So it's not religious, but we still had that experience. But then I also went to public school before I left California, which the junior high I went to had freaking like barbed wire on it and shit. Like, no joke.
Oh, hell yeah.
Dude,
dangerous minds.
You know shit, right?
Yeah.
You know, moving out here and the East Coast is like completely different. So, I mean, having like, I've seen how there was like so many different kinds of styles of like education. It's like, and dude, I don't even, like, you just blew my mind with that shit, bro.
Dude, like, no, I went to with the no barbed wire with me. It was like, and it wasn't Catholic, so there wasn't uniforms, but there sort of was in that everyone was all Abercrombie and Fitched out. It's that kind of private school.
Business casual.
But yes, business casual, giant cell phones.
Yeah, I mean, we have a few private schools in this area that are kind of like that, where it's like the parents who know people, it doesn't matter how much you're paying. If you know the people, that's how you get them in. And I mean, they got like, holy shit, the teachers they get, it's better than college, period. And I mean, it's like free thing, like but these are supposed to be like senators and shit at some point. Like they're priming them for freaking Harvard and Yale and stuff. And I'm like, oh yeah, it's ridiculous. Wow. Yeah. People in this area, man, they take education like they do. I mean, from what I'm aware of, that's what I see. Doesn't mean I'm right.
All right.
What? I'm just sorry. I brought the room down. My bad.
No, it's all good.
We care about education over here.
Education should be free.
We've had this talk, bro. Yeah. So like the question is, if there was like just one thing you could have and make the entire world better, like if it was like only one thing could do it, what would be that one thing? And I said completely free education.
I would have said bring back the Arch Deluxe, but free education's all right.
Well, because the further point was, in order for it to literally be free, you're talking about free electronic devices for everyone.
Yeah.
Which need electricity. Well, that's got to be free too. Now. The internet. Well, that's got to be like, so anything and all. So all of the, supporting infrastructures and sets, that in and of itself, not just with the education as well. Mm-hmm. All of that. I mean, it makes, I think that would be the one thing that, and that's like unedited, uncut, like true, honest, like here's the data. And, so if we had that kind of free access, free education, I think that would make the biggest difference in the world. So that's what he was referencing.
Tesla was trying to put stuff out for free and look what happened to him. I'm just,
dude.
He died like penniless, man. I'm just
because you're always talking about. It's like, yeah, because did he say something? Yeah, well, he'd be bringing people up and shit and like talking about that, and it's just like, well, I mean, they said something. It's just like, so you're saying is that he's like, well, I mean, they said something. Oh, okay, so that's my joke to him. Is just like, so they say something. Is that what happened?
They always saying something.
They always be starting something. So, bro, let me ask you this, man. Since you're, it sounds like pretty much the combination of us and then some movie wise, as far as your eclectic reach, as far as seeing things. You got a favorite or at least a top like three?
I
do that. So it's like I can't even imagine what it's like for you, bro.
Oh, it's hard explaining it sometimes. Well, depending on who I'm talking to, because my favorite movie is Caligula.
Okay.
Peter O'Toole, John Gielgud, and a lot of graphic sex and violence. It's a combination of a lot of things I love. I love big Hollywood historical epics, especially of that time. The big expensive sets, costumes, and everything. And I also love exploitation films and really over the top hammy acting.
Right.
especially over the top British hammy acting. And that movie has all of those things.
I know, right? Yes, you are correct, sir.
Yeah. And so, like, sometimes I remember I was dating someone one time, and she was like, so what's your favorite movie? I'm like, oh, it's Caligula. She's like, oh, I want to see it. I'm like, oh, maybe you'll like it. And she also had never seen A Clockwork Orange.
Oh.
So we did. That's another one of my favorite movies. I'm like, oh, yeah, Malcolm McDowell's in both of them. We'll do a double feature. We watched Clockwork Orange. Loves that. And after, I'm like, oh, maybe she'll like Caligula. I don't know. And I know, right? Like,
put a smirk on your face.
It's not too much of a stretch.
Yeah. But she goes like, yeah, no, Clockwork Orange is really good. I just don't really like when it gets like hardcore sex and stuff. I'm like, oh, maybe this might be a mistake. We get like 20 minutes into Caligula, and it was like I put on a snuff film. Like, it was that awkward. Like, it was like if I had put on a video where I'm like burning her childhood toys, it would have been less awkward than this. And so I was like, no, it's okay, we can shut it off. So sometimes, like, when I was meeting my luckily my wife really likes the movie, but I remember when I was meeting my in-laws, who are really religious. My wife was raised Mormon. And so when I met them, I think they asked me what my favorite movie was. I'm like, I don't think I should say it. So one of my other favorite movies is a movie called The Great Race. This great, like, epic comedy with Jack Lemmon and Tony Curtis from the 60s. So when I need like the safe answer, I'll say that, because it is like my favorite comedy.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've see. This is my brain shows, like, again, the movie screen thing. So sometimes when it flashes up, I'm like, I don't know that shit, and they're just like, no, it's that. I'm like, oh, fuck if I remember.
It's kind of a mad world type epic comedy. Like, it's a 60s Blake Edwards movie where they're it's this round the world race from New York to Paris, and it's like a live action cartoon. Like, Tony Curtis is like the dashing hero's teeth always shine, and Jack Lemmon is basically what inspired the Dick Dastardly character in it, like the top hat, big mustache, like evil cackling villain.
The landlord. You must.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And I apologize. What was the name of the second one?
The Great Race.
Yeah, because that's there's a couple of versions of that. There's one from, I think, like the late 1980s with like Kevin Pollak and a bunch of them, where they kind of do the same thing, but it's like more of like they're searching for the $1 million or whatever, but they're going from a spot with like clues and shit, like treasure hunt style. Yeah. Oh, like Rat Race. Yeah, and there's a couple of those. Yeah, but I think that's the OG though, is with Jack and them. Yeah, that's why I was like, I know those names, and that's, my brain was like, yeah, and it's just, I'm like, fuck, it's not happening, bro. I'm pretty sure I've seen that. I know. Oh, here we go. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a really bad poster. It's like, it's an epic comedy. That is not even what they look like in the movie. Right. Yeah, this is that's just like their headshots. Like, that's Jack Lemmon or Tony Curtis from The Great Imposter. Yeah, JD, please do me a favor and throw this in the chat for us. I feel like I've seen this, but I don't know. If not, then I'm definitely gonna watch it.
Yeah. We'll definitely check that out.
Yeah, because there's plenty of things where it's like, dude, I can't watch TV anymore. Yeah. It's depressing. Like, all right, so the you know Cowboy Bebop? Yeah. So I don't watch it, but I know what it is. Well, so when they made the first season, which I thought was going to be like the first of many, I absolutely loved the shit out of it. Like, it was and I talked to anybody else who are like true Cowboy Bebop fans, like anime cats, like from way back. And we're all saying the same thing. Like, dude, that was an homage. It was fucking beautiful and immaculate. The live action. Oh, yeah. The live action one. Yeah, with Johnny Show or whatever. And it's like, as soon as I was like, yes, and I loved it, it was just like already canceled. I was like, you can go to anything new that they make that I like gets killed. Whereas, like, okay.
Maybe that's why we watch a lot of docu-series now, because we're like, well, we know it's going to have an ending. At least if they find the dead body, it'll have an ending.
Right.
But see, nobody has any original ideas anymore. Like even movie wise, it's just like, dude, it's rare for me to be like, holy crap, I want to go to the theater and see this for like, and I'll gladly go see one of my favorites. Like if they were screening like Breakfast Club or any of that kind of shit, fuck yeah, I'm going. You know what I mean? Hell, I'll probably even dress up. Why not?
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm not.
I'm older now, so I got to dress like Mr. Vernon.
Excuse me, Dick.
I'm at the movie theater like a few times a week because I got to see. I mean, it used to be that I saw everything that came out, but now that's an impossible thing to do. Like, even taking streaming out of it, because that already makes it impossible to see everything that comes out. Just theaters in general, it's hard to see everything. I mean, I can try, but there's always things I miss that I just don't have time to see. I thought this is one of the rare weekends where I only have one in theaters this weekend, missing the desktop thriller movie. But I'll still walk into some where I'll be like, well, I've never seen that before. I was at one the other day. It was called The Devil Conspiracy, where it's not that it was good, but it was entertaining as hell. It was about a cult of Satanists that steal the Shroud of Turin to get Jesus's DNA from it in order to clone Jesus and impregnate a woman with with a new baby Jesus, so that they can offer it as the ultimate sacrifice to Satan. And the hero is the Archangel Michael, who possesses a dead priest and becomes an action hero. And he puts on his leather coat and it starts playing The Devil Inside by NXS. I'm like, I am so glad I am here.
Oh my God, thank you so much for this moment. This is beautiful in so many ways. Oh yeah, that's guilty pleasure upon guilty pleasure.
It was insane. I was so glad I was in the theater to see this. Like I'm watching it going, what grade do I even give this? Because like the movie makes no sense. It's full of holes and contrivances and conveniences, but entertainment wise, it's an A.
Maybe you have to start a whole new scale for this or something, you know?
Sometimes the letter grading system is hard. Like sometimes it is. Like this movie has a scene where the Archangel Michael is in hell and he's rescued by hell's version of the Lost Boys from Hook.
Oh, that's so wrong on so many levels.
Yeah.
I don't think
you're in search for something original on such a scale that like you're willing to kind of sift through the trash to get there. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I mean this, and I see some bad trash,
but you give them.
This was good trash.
Like, you know, you stuck the landing and you're original. I'll give you that much. You know?
Yeah. You're right. I know. I had a way better time at this than I did at the House Party remake that came out a week ago.
I wouldn't even waste my time.
I have nothing. I can neither confirm nor deny at this point in time. I'm neutral.
Are you gonna start speaking that? What's that language?
Disclaimer, Rhea. He's just like, I can neither tell you nor if I had said information could have tell. And he's just like, you're an idiot, and walks away from him.
Yeah,
running. So we actually designed a grading system for movies that we never actually sat down and did.
No, it was it was a bit complicated.
Not really. So it's as simple as literally as you're watching the movie, what lines seem to be quotable, like rememberable. Because some movies will have a shit ton and some will only have a couple where you're just like, yeah, you know it for, verbatim. You've only seen it once and it's just grained in your mind. So you can write down all of those quotes. Well, the comparison of how much actual screen time that you would turn the movie into if you were just to play it as just the quotes from end to end to end. Who gives a shit if it makes sense? You literally take that measurement in comparison to how long the entire movie is, and you find out like, you know, the ratio in between where it's like, cause you can get a movie that's only maybe like 30 minutes long, but there's like half the shit's rememberable. It's like, holy fuck.
Oh yeah.
But then you could have movies that are like 2 hours long and there's like maybe 2 or 3 lines or, like, so there's
some movies would actually get meme credits.
I know how you could do that on a spreadsheet.
Our dude hooked us up with one. Like we started working on it. We just never actually sat down and like did it. So, but you know, so then, yeah, we too are also looking for a new way to categorize movies. Cause you know, it's not, you can't just be like, well, I mean, it's like, actually it's got a 73.4. It's pretty good. I'd watch that.
certain movies just have longevity. It doesn't matter.
Well, yeah, because I mean, like to me, Breakfast Club and, you know, most of the John Hughes movies, dude, half of the scenes, they're guaranteed. There's a line in there where if anybody says it, you're just like, bing, instantly took it. You're just like, fuck, that was 16 Candles. That's actually a pretty.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but
I mean, that was in a time when movies were allowed to have longevity instead of we need you for an opening weekend and then we're good. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
They were meant to play in theaters for a long time and stand the test of time. Whereas that's even when you see something great now, it's hard to retain a lot of it when there's 200 every single month. I mean, especially in my case where you have to see about everything that comes out.
Yeah. I mean, I can.
And you watched the new Avatar?
I did see the new Avatar.
You mean Ferngully?
Ferngully 5? I don't know. What are we on there?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Can I ask, was it on par with the first one?
Yeah, in that like it's something I liked fine in the same way that I do like a 3D theme park attraction where it's like I'm there for the spectacle. It works as this kind of 3D attraction because the 3D is really good. The world pops and all that, but it only works for that. It's not going to be anything that I watch at home. Nothing else about it is interesting enough to make it cool on screen.
Gotta see again. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, dude, that's why I was saying before, like for me to actually want to go to the theater, it's gotta, and again, I don't watch TV, so I don't watch ads and stuff. Like I very much actual, you know, if I do watch stuff, which I do plenty of, it's pretty much always like just reruns because it's, you know, my favorite shows, you know, in series or like.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
I mean, I say I have a small collection, but it's 300. That's my personal collection of just like, what do I feel like watching? And that's just, you know, the movies and whatnot. So because I'm limited on my experience on new stuff coming out, as well as for the past few years, I've just been like,
So name 5 movies and I want to see if he has them.
5 random movies.
Fairly common, but you know.
I mean, they can be a little off the wall, but nothing crazy. But yeah, no, I have.
Do you have the dorm that dripped blood?
See, no, I do not. I do, however, have I think it's a 20 movie set of 1960s only, all black and white horror films, like all the old Abe Vigoda stuff like that. So I mean, I have like weird kind of things like that as well.
Oh yeah, those I used to collect DVDs quite a bit. And I would have some of those compilations. It's like because of that, I would have like 5 copies of Messiah of Evil, like, you know, because that's like on all of them. And so I was a big collector. And then it was like, it's actually quite a few years ago. It was like maybe 14 years ago. It was all stolen. And I know, man, like after that, I was like, I can't start this over again. But I did start collecting because it was cheaper to move on to this. Like, and I already had some anyway. But like, I did start collecting. I've got a good collection of like the old big box VHSs, like stuff in like the clamshell or like the old exploitation movies that are in like the big oversized cardboard boxes. I've got a lot of those. I like collecting those.
Nice. Yeah, no, oh man, you saying that with your collection. I used to be a DJ back in the day, like when we were younger and stuff.
Yeah.
In my early years, like literally like over 20 years ago. And I had a massive, between vinyl, cassettes,
Yeah.
CD, everything. Cause I would spin and play with like freaking samplers and, whatever I can get my hands on basically.
Yeah,
so
I mean, some crates.
Dude, I had a few
And some crates, man.
And
I was
one day
I was a radio DJ, so it was like just had to say like the liner notes, and it was all on the computer.
Dude, I had a shit ton of like one-off, like low pressings and stuff. I mean, I had some super rare shit, and
yeah.
Man.
So that's where he got his voice from, huh?
What's that?
Yeah, it was how I got that job. I did. I was 18. I was still in high school. I was 18, and I got hired to be a DJ at the oldies station. So I was an oldies DJ for like 5 years, something like that. I liked that job. Like before the YouTube thing, that was my favorite job that I'd had.
Yeah, man. I have a music show on an old timey Directions of Music. Is basically it's like post-war jazz 1920s.
Hell yeah.
And I have like one of the most progressive shows on there because I actually get into the 2000s and shit. But yeah, I get to play some cool fun stuff, man.
Well, you don't really have a set limitation.
My one and only rule, more or less, is can I play this on full blast, like on 11, and being like, why can't I turn it up more?
Yeah.
If I play full blast in my car, I won't put it on the air.
Oh,
so I don't play most of like pop radio stuff today, but
yeah. So he creates like little mini themes during his set.
Dude, I put dad jokes in there and shit.
Nice.
He's trying to like tell a story, and there'll be like dad jokes in the story.
Oh yeah, dude. Like, Halloween was hilarious because I basically told like a trick or treater story because of the songs that I used. It was the choruses was like knock knock who's there, and then the next song was like flying purple people eater, and then the next song was I want candy. So it's just like. I mean, come on, guys. Dude, I don't care if you're not laughing. I think this is hilarious. I love my dad jokes, bro.
A track, though. I mean, it could be reggae. It could be...
Dude, yeah, man. Ska, reggae, punk. I mean, I've done like turntablists and stuff where you take like new age, basically like beat makers, but they also like cut and sample and stuff. Like Wax Taylor and RJD2 and like DJ Shadow and like crazy cats like that. So I mean, yeah, I've played like progressive hip hop infused style. Yeah, man, I push the boundaries of the radio station. It's pretty dope. I'm like the wild one or some shit. It's fucking hilarious. I'm like, this is just, dude, there's so much more good music. You guys don't even know. Oh my God, I want to play this so bad for you. But I can't. It's all right.
Yeah. Trying to teach him.
Hey, man. Yeah, no, it's for real. Like we are. Cause dude, like all that old timey music. I mean, the shit you were talking about doing when you were a kid, that's the stuff, the 1920s and shit. That was the stuff that's made all of the music today coming in from like the late 1880s, like slave songs and shit like that. And people just no fucking respect for it because they don't know.
They wouldn't let me play any slave songs on the radio station.
Be ashamed of yourself, turning the gospel into the devil's music.
The devil.
Be ashamed.
Well, yeah, no, because
it's a Sunday.
Because I played a couple of like Lead Belly and stuff, and he plays. He didn't write a lot of his songs. They were like what they would call Appalachian folk trail songs. Like it was just music from back then that just came out of the areas and stuff, and you just knew it because that's all you had and stuff. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. But yeah, dude, it's dope shit. And that's the thing is like when I'm doing it, I get to learn about it. So like. I can't even imagine the amount of movies that you run through. Like, dude, how much knowledge do you have? Like, how many evil plans are stacked in your brain? You're like, well, actually, that elephant could come in handy. I'm just saying. It's just like,
well, you see, that's a different ET porn parody you're talking about. You're thinking of the one from Brazil where he had a carrot penis. Now, this one over here is the one from Austria.
Oh my God. You could be the absolute like Dr. Evil because you just like know all of the evil plans. Like, I already know what you're going to think about. Already seen this a million times.
A million times.
You got to say it like Dr. Evil. 1,000,000 times.
So I've already got the shaved head for it.
Yeah, bro.
You need the hairless cat.
Man, Baldy's beautiful.
Lloyd's over there. Come here, Lloyd. I'll shave you, buddy.
It's a club, man. This is cool over here.
Come here, buddy.
We hang out on the back of the bus and everything, bro. We got this.
I'm sorry. I'm just seeing a dog running around with a reverse mohawk, you know.
Mr. T style. Like, I pay the fool who don't walk me. You're like, okay, buddy, let's go for a walk. Holy Jesus.
Come here. Oh, I got you. There he is.
Oh.
I'll shave him down. Yeah.
Oh.
You're going to be my Mr. Bigglesworth, buddy. Unhand me, you bastard.
Can I get some freaking lasers over here?
And you got to play dual characters. You got to play your own mini-me, though.
Oh, yeah.
So I did just play the Alan Parsons Project on freaking Monday night. Just saying. What? We'll take these lasers called the Alan Parsons Project. What? What is it?
That's what I'm
Yeah, number 2's over there. He's like, that's actually the name of a group. God damn it. Dude, Mike Myers cracks. I don't know what it is about him. Like him and like Jim Carrey types where they're super animated. And it doesn't even have to be so much like the face, but like, I mean, their entirety. I mean, Robin Williams is like, they're
oh, yeah.
sell it with all they got, man.
Their whole bodies put into it.
Yeah, dude, fucking Mike Myers gets me. Cause even like, So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Right, dude, Stephen Wright's in that shit. Like, dude, that's comedically, that's actually a really good fucking movie.
Mm-hmm.
And it's stupid at the same time.
And it is like an outlier too, in that like it's a unique Mike Myers movie in that he's like kind of play like at least one of his characters in it is like the straight man in it, where he's not in any kind of makeup doing a voice or anything like that. It's like it's a straight man perform, and he's really good at it. Like he does a really good job in that movie.
Yeah, right. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, no, so let me ask you this: who's one of your all-time favorite actors?
I will say I'm a big Stallone geek.
Hey,
so like
good taste, bro.
Yeah, like some new Stallone movie comes out, I'm like sold. And now he's got like the series Tulsa King. Tulsa King's really good. John Travolta. I'm a big John Travolta guy. So like even like the like dark era of some of his movies, like when you go like deep into his filmography in the 80s, those I still love putting on too, because he's like one of those actors who, even when it's something that's like forgotten, it didn't do well, it's not a very good script, he never sleepwalks.
Dude, I mean, yeah, right. I always joke about it. Like I never judge except for style points. And if you stick to the ending, you get big points for me. It's like, you could have been sloppy shit, but it's like, if you stick it, you're like, hey, you're like sold 4.5. We're good. 4.5. He's good. So yeah, dude, as long as you bring it. Yeah. If you fucking bring it, everything could totally suck. But if you fucking bring it,
if you bring it, then yeah, I mean, like typically considered to be one of his worst movies is Battlefield Earth, and his performance in that movie is the opposite of sleepwalking.
Dude, the first time I saw it, I think I would say I was like maybe 5 minutes in of seeing him as a character. All of a sudden I was just like, that's fucking John Travolta. Holy shit. Cause I saw the movie like way late. You know what I mean? I never saw it when it was in theaters. Dude,
I did.
It was a 2-hour play. I was just like, fuck that. I'm not paying to sit for, not for the, Transformers or something. I'm a super uber like nerd. I'm a nerd. I like Transformers and stupid shit, but I'm like, fucking Space Aliens. I'm like, fuck this. I don't give a shit who's in it.
I saw it when it was in theaters, because I probably would have seen it in theaters anyway, but I was managing a movie theater at the time. That was 2000. And there were people who were leaving mad. Like it was opening weekend for it. And there were people just like, some people left like while the movie was still playing. Some wanted their money back and everything. And so me and my friends were in the movie theater. We're like, we gotta see this movie. Like our curiosity peaked. Like, oh, okay, our next day off, we're going to see this. And we did, and we had a great time.
Right? Dude, that's what I'm saying, bro. See, dude, this is why when they made the new Cowboy Bebop, and I was just like, yes, and it was just like canceled. I was like, fuck you all. Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, would you, because that movie, I mean, that was, again, I didn't see it until probably like 10, 15 years later or something.
Yeah.
Just like watching, I was like, this is kind of good. But I mean, I love that. Like, dude, I love, all the Kung Fu stuff from back in the day. I mean, like Bruce Lee and shit. I mean,
oh, yeah.
Last Dragon, for crying out loud. You know what I mean? Last Dragon. Dude, catches teeth.
Bruce Leroy. Yeah.
Right, dude? I love that shit. Are you kidding me?
I love the 70s Sonny Chiba movies where it was like the Bruce Lee movies, but graphic. And he was always playing like he played like a pimp or like a crime boss, but he's the hero. Like it is the Street Fighter in the 70s where it's like it isn't just that he punches a guy in the top of the head. It's that we need to cut to an X-ray vision angle of it and show the fist go directly into the man's skull.
Yeah, man, Mortal Kombat style, right?
Yeah.
And see that this is the thing that I love about those movies is it's so cheaply done, but you put it together right, and it's just fucking entertaining.
Oh yeah. When he passed away, I did.
It's just the story is so amazing. The way they sell it is just fucking. Oh god, the cheesier the better, man. The worse the dub, where it's just like their lips for like 30 seconds, and they're just like, "Hey." Like that does no hard.
That kind of movie I prefer to watch it dubbed, like when it's like one of those old Chopsaki movies or even an old like monster movie. I'm going like I grew up with all of these being dubbed. I prefer to watch them dubbed. It kind of adds to the charm for me.
Dude, I mean, I'll tell you, like the cinematographic ones, like the well done ones, like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and shit. Like,
yeah.
I watch those ones in their original, audio. I don't
totally, yeah.
But when it comes to the cheesy shit, like the Technicolor style stuff,
yeah,
where like they literally say "hey" and their lips are still moving for half a minute. You're just like, no.
Dude, yeah.
Shit, and then all just the fight just breaks out. You're just like, yes, there's a fight already, dude. It's
Or they like edit an American actor into them, like.
I don't know. They propose me.
I know.
What am I supposed to do?
Like, let's get Agent Johnson on the phone. Like, hey, yeah, I think we should send all our missiles to the monster in like Tokyo. Okay, bye.
Like, dude, bro, you so get me. See, this is like I get you, homie. I feel you. Like, you're my guy, man. You're my guy. We we bald guys got to stick together, but also
that's right.
Your taste is immaculate. I appreciate you. I really do.
Can I ask?
You can watch.
Since you do both streaming and in theater, like for almost a lot of the movies that come out, what would be out of 2022? What would be your favorite in theater, and what would have been your favorite streamed movies?
My favorite one in
last year.
The one I put as number one was RRR, the Indian movie. It's an action flick, and it is crazy. Like it's all like this kidnapping story set in like the early 1900s, where this girl gets kidnapped to this wealthy family, and you have one guy who is hired to get her back, and then you have another guy who is hired by the family to try to stop that guy, but then they end up becoming friends because they don't know who they are. And there are spectacular action scenes in this where people will just throw like leopards at each other and like use a motorcycle as a sword. Like it's a real epic. Like, and I had a great, and that's only skimming the surface of it. Best streaming, I don't know, honestly, because I don't watch a ton of the streaming movies, and a lot of the ones I do see are ones that are like technically also in theaters. Like they might show for only like a week or two, but you can find them in some theaters. I'm trying to think of what else I put like on my top 10 list if there was a streaming movie on there. I don't know. I saw, yeah, there it is. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like he hurts his legs at one point. Like he's got
Dude, you know what, man?
Need you to be my legs.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. You're like honestly, you're starting to get some like dope stuff coming out of like the Middle East and India and all that stuff. Like it's pretty chill.
I try to go see a lot of those too. The Bollywood movies, the Indian films, because they really are like the old. I mean, this one is pretty extreme and like, you know, throwing animals at each other and stuff like that, and like the wild cinematography that's in it. It's all really cool. There's a lot of those that I go see that are like kind of old school, like muscle bound action movies that we kind of grew up with from like the 80s and 90s. They still do a lot of those in India. So there's a lot of times. Yeah. So I'll go. I can't see all of them because there are a lot of them that are released. I can't see all of them because also they are very long, but they never feel long. Even ones that are kind of bad still don't feel long because they mix all of these different kind of genres. Like you'll go see one where the first act of it will be like this cheesy rom-com, and then it'll get like super violent where someone will get a pen jabbed in their eye and like some CEO villain kidnaps the girlfriend and now there's car chases and someone's getting an axe to the back of the head. Like, so there's like different, it's a mix of a lot of different kind of genres. So a lot of they never feel as long as they actually are, but because a lot of them are long, it makes it hard to go see a lot of them.
Dude, yeah, no, they are freaking epics and sagas rolled into one.
Yeah. So I don't know what I can't remember what the best streaming movie was that I saw in 2022, but I didn't see a lot of them.
Dumb.
Okay.
Yeah, so follow up to favorite movie. What's it, favorite director?
Up to ever?
Yeah, all time favorite.
Oh shit.
I know, right?
Yeah, usually depends on what I'm in the mood for. I like the Italian guys. I like the Italian knockoffs of the 80s. There was a director back then. His name was Bruno Mattei. We had a show dedicated to his movies one time, and this guy did some far out stuff. Like he would do like a lot of double features. Like if he made like a nunsploitation movie, he'd make another one, and one would always be really cool and one would always be kind of bad. Like he did a movie called Rats Night of Terror, where it's original in that, like, okay, you a title like that, like, you know, it's going to be a killer rat movie. Some people are held up in this abandoned building where there's, you know, it's surrounded by killer rats. What's original about it is that really for no reason, it's a post-apocalyptic movie. It takes place 10 years after the nuclear holocaust. That way it can also be a Mad Max knockoff for what is essentially just a killer rat movie. So he was one I would collect a lot of his movies. But you know, I grew up on the Spielberg movies, so you know those always take me back to when I was a kid. So when he's got a new one out, like I'm kind of a completist on his. Scorsese's same. Like if they got something out, I'll go see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no. Yeah, it's definitely time to wrap it up. Take a break, take a breath, and get ready to do. I'm telling you. But it's been awesome having you on.
Thank you so much. Yeah, that was fun.
And
thanks for having me on.
This is just the warm up. So this is like,
yeah.
People just get the look into the back room. But shameless plug, bro.
Yeah, shameless plug. If you want to drop any information about how to get in touch with you or what you got going
handles,
on,
hashtags, whatever the hell you want to throw out.
Yeah, totally. I'm at Twitter at the Cinema Snob, and my YouTube channel is youtube.com/Stone Gremlin Productions. I'm also on Channel Awesome as well. If you just type in the Cinema Snob on YouTube, I'll be like the first thing that comes up.
Right. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, he's the only one.
You're like, I checked.
Oh, dude, we do our research and like the stuff I was finding out with him. I was just like, oh, because I mean, we chatted before. We have a mutual friend that like hooked us up, basically.
Yeah.
We chatted for a hot minute, and I was just like, oh, I feel like this is one of us. Like this is brother right here. It's like, did we just become brothers? Yeah, right?
Did we?
Brothers don't shake hands. Brothers hug.
Brothers got a hug.
Conversation about movies.
Oh, dude. I mean, dude, if there was ever a time where we could have a conversation based in movie quotes, I think. But you know, that'll be fun. I'm telling you, we can try this. I don't know. We're gonna need more beer if it's gonna make this happen.
But yeah, we definitely. And please keep the conversation going. Hit us up at ITY at directionsinmusic.org. And that'll get all of us. Or you can hit us up individually at GEMINI at directionsinmusic.org. Bleep, blorp, bleep.
You're Philly DPHI DLLY at directionsinmusic.org. But yeah, fam, this has been amazing. Brad, the man, we're going to take a hot break and come back from. I'm telling you, this has been dope. This is a great warm up.
No problem.
You're going to take a break. We're all going to take a quick break.
I'll be right back. I'm just going to go feed Lloyd real quick.
Right on.
You mean Mr. Bigglesworth?
Mr. Bigglesworth. I'm coming, big buddy.
Oh, dude. All right, but as fam, as always, be good to yourself. Be good to everything else.
Much love.
Peace.
Peace.